have the President and Chairman of Council, NIPR, Dr. Ike Neliaku, fnipr, to come up stage for the welcome address. Please give him a round of applause. Thank you.
Your Excellency, our special guest of honor, Your Excellency, our chief host, the Honorable Minister of Information, Your Excellency, our guest speaker, former Governor of Ogun State, former Ministers of Information with us here, distinguished guests. Like it goes with many things that begin with solution-driven conversations, reflections of deep considerations and products of fine thoughts. So it is with the vision and birthing of the Nigeria Spokespersons Summit. What started as a concerned discussion to review an unprofessional performance of a failed spokesman progressed to the trajectory of what should be done, proceeded to become a possible viable idea, and landed on the need for a collective action. Indeed, it is true that ideas rule the world, or better put, great ideas move the world greatly. To say that I am pleased to welcome you all, particularly the Speaker of the House of Representatives who is here with us this morning, is an understatement. I am really. And I feel excited and very delighted to welcome all of you gathered from different parts of the nation to be part of history. Some at short notice, yet you found time to join us to celebrate an important sectoral group of not just the public relations profession, but an essential component of nation building, the spokespersons. The Nigeria Spokesperson Summit is a platform that brings together spokespersons, communication experts, public and corporate affairs personnel, perception managers, reputation builders, public communication professionals from the public, private, and civil society to exchange ideas, share experiences, foster collaboration, sharpen knowledge, direct new trends, learn new tools, and acquire skills for their practice. Your Excellencies, this second edition of NSS is unique in a number of ways. First, we are using this opportunity to confer fellowship of the Institute on deserving and outstanding Nigerians. I must emphasize that fellowship of NIPR, be it professional or honorary, is strictly on merit and outstanding performance. The reason is very simple. A fellow of the Institute is regarded as a reputation icon in many respects. This explains why we do not hesitate to withdraw the honor once the honoree becomes a liability instead of a highly valued asset. In April 2024, at the Institute's 61st Annual General Meeting at Abeokuta, Dr. John Reputation Momo was to have been conferred in recognition of his immense contribution to the field of communication in the past 4 decades. But he was indisposed at the last minute and requested for a deferment. That's why we are doing this today. Chief Ike Obasimokele and Chief John Nyanwodo were ministers of information and supervising ministers of NIPR from 1997 to 1998 and 1998 to 1999 respectively. But for some reason, this was not done in office. And we felt that today, as the Governing Council has approved, that we should use this opportunity to fill this lacuna. The Speaker of the 10th House of Representatives has deployed public relations skills and functions in discharging his duties, both to his colleagues in the Green Chamber and the Nigerian public. For example, his public accountability programs of citizens' engagements with Nigerian youths and the State of the House Live Citizens Chart between June and December 2024 show him clearly as someone that has understanding of the power of stakeholder engagement as an effective tool in leadership communication. The second unique element of this summit is the invitation we extended to Professor Taiwo Oyedele, Chairman, Presidential Committee on Tax and Fiscal Reforms, requesting him to come and engage with strategic stakeholders in national development, the spokespersons, to come and discuss Nigeria's economic outlook and be ready to engage with them. Because these are the people that need to understand what is going on and then take the message further. The third feature of the summit is presentation of the Nigeria Spokespersons Charter and Practice Code by a gentleman who occupies the office of the Chief Spokesperson of the People, the Speaker of the House of Reps. The SCPC is an instrument created to provide professional support and ethical guidance in the conduct, actions, and activities of spokespersons who represent organizations, public figures, brands, institutions in Nigeria. As the regulatory body for public relations practice in Nigeria, the Institute has the duty of ensuring that professional best practices, integrity, and ethical standards are upheld at all times in PR practice. The two core objectives of SCPC are to provide an enabling instrument for spokespersons to properly understand and be well guided in the discharge of their work as reputation builders, perception managers, goodwill cultivators, trust promoters, understanding fostering people, and encouraging friendship with mutual respect as the case may be. Second aspect of it is that we want spokespersons to know that they are accountable not just to the principals, but also to the Nigerian people, to the citizens. So this is to help principals to have a book of measuring standard and best practice on the spokespersons themselves to see whether they are doing what they ought to do or not. I will use this opportunity to sincerely appreciate governors of Jigawa and Nasarawa states who are partnering with NIPR in two special projects. Jigawa state government is partnering with us on the Rebirth Nigeria project, an initiative from a professional private sector perspective designed to complement the National Orientation Agency's effort on value reorientation, citizen education, service excellence, and promotion of made in Nigerian goods. We had the opportunity of being with him in Duse in 2024 to appreciate the great work the governor is doing in the area of wheat revolution. As some of you may be aware, the NIPR, in partnership with Global Alliance for Public Relations, Nasarawa State Government, Federal Ministry of Information and National Orientation, and Leadership Advancement Foundation, are establishing the University of Public Relations and Leadership. We are delighted to inform that Governor Abla Hisule of Nasarawa State has already provided and presented to us 100 hectares of land required to ensure that work commences immediately for this university to be unveiled within the scheduled time of 2026. Your Excellencies, distinguished participants, the fifth peculiarity of this summit is the public communication clinic with former ministers of information. As elders who have gone far ahead of us, we decided to call them together to come and help to share their knowledge, share their perspective with the younger generation. Because if you don't build effective successor, your success will not be a successful success. And that's why we need them to come back. So having had the privilege of working with some of them, both as an aide and as a friend, I am delighted to let you a little into their thoughts. Beginning with Professor Jerry Ghana, I learned from Professor Jerry Ghana that reputation is a core asset and integrity is a door opener. For you to be a successful spokesman, you must be believable and trusted. And for you to be believable and trusted, you must be rich in reputation asset, strong in integrity value, so as to build trust, reopen conversations, and gain access even where the door has been closed. And then, from Chief Iko Basimokele, I learned to appreciate the skill of spokesperson in communicating difficult information and to manage such challenging circumstances. He foresaw in 1998 that some government spokespersons may be losing public confidence and trust, and so initiated the New Information Trust as a campaign to respond to that need. Interestingly, the NIT was to be unveiled to the nation in the morning of Monday, June 8, 1998. Guests had begun to arrive, awaiting the special guest of honor, when Chief Mokele called me. And what I had on my phone, Ike, I said, present, sir. And he said, Nataba, woke jebegive, mwani biaiku, anago mo, which means Ike returned to base. The big man has gone home. The baby we were waiting to carry has gone to the world beyond. And that was the passing of our former head of state. That was how it was communicated to me, and I had the task of communicating it to the gathering at the International Conference Center. Chief John Wodo arrived to the Ministry of Information with a lot of swagger, which he still has. He carried himself with a peculiar kind of poise that came with a romantic elocution from a well-groomed voice of a well-groomed man. It was from him that I learned that the way a spokesman dresses would determine how he is addressed. He told me that unknown to many, one of the essential elements of a spokesperson is capacity to set the right agenda for the principal. The spokesperson is the thinker in the house. Chief Frank Mweke, then junior, but now the second, came to the ministry with a lot of vibrancy and dynamism. Although I did not work directly with him, but we related very closely. I still remember him telling me at one occasion, very emphatically, he said, my brother, the spokesperson of any nation bears the solemn duty of upholding the people's right to know. And he was doing it and doing his hand like this. He must remain thoroughly informed and convey essential truths with clarity, integrity, and unwavering respect for the citizenry. I said, Honorable Minister, I've had you. And then, His Excellency Labaran Maku, we interacted many times and worked at certain level while in office. It was from him that I learned that the spokesperson represents the integrity and honor of his organization and the society, creating a bond of trust between the two through credible management of information communication for the realization of set goals of both the organization and the public good. Then enter Lai Mohammed, the longest serving Minister of Information. And he said, my brother, you know, many people don't understand us. You know, a spokesperson is that person who engages in official communication on behalf of an organization. It could be individual, it could be a group, it could be government, whose main aim or role is to represent the views, decisions, and policies of those he represents. Forget about any other thing. You have an interest to represent. So you must represent that interest to the public. In other words, The spokesperson shapes public perception and ensures the timely delivery of the right messages to the appropriate audiences based on the peculiarities of his environment. A number of profound thoughts have emerged from what we have said, which is every spokesperson speaks from his heart, what he understands to be his operating environment, and I hope our spokespersons are listening. May I conclude by once more appreciating our special guest of honor, our guest speaker, the chairman of this occasion, who sent a message to me and said, I am racing from the airport. And I said, please arrive in peace. It is better for us. May I convey the best wishes of Dr. Walter Afonagoro and Chief Chukwuemeka Chikele, who are indisposed to join us and insisted that I must announce their apologies to the Minister of Information, to the Speaker, and to his colleagues that he had really looked forward to coming here this morning, but he's not able to come because of some challenges. Chukwuemeka spoke with me last night and said if it were possible, I should call him and put the phone so that he can. I said, no, don't worry, there will be another opportunity. Your Excellencies, we are pleased with our supervising minister, Alhaji Mohammed Idris. He saw the vision of providing a platform like this for spokespersons in Nigeria to come together and reason together, and more importantly, review themselves. He has been very supportive. He has been our strong pillar. He has nurtured this idea with us. He has advised us as necessary. And that's why he's informing well, because he understands. I want to thank our media partners, particularly DAC Communications, Nigeria Television Authority, Federal Radio Corporation of Nigeria, Channels Television. We appreciate your live coverage of this opening ceremony. I wish to end on a note of immense joy. On Tuesday, March 4th, 2025, Nigeria received the cheerful news of winning a hotly contended bid to host the 2026 World Public Relations Forum. What this means is that Nigeria will be hosting the Who is Who in public relations all over the world in November 2026. This victory could not have come except by the grace of God, because those who contended with us were more powerful than us. But somehow, God gave it to us. We were led by Minister Idris into that battle, and I'm glad we came successful. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we now have an opportunity to retell our story to the global community. On that note, I want to thank you and welcome you to the second Nigeria Spokesperson Summit.
Thank you very much. Please give Mr. President another round of applause. Wonderful song. Me, I love my country. I like the land and people. Everything he did for Nigeria, including spokespersons from different dimensions as analyzed by the president. Make we join hands to make Nigeria better. A round of applause once again for Mr. President and that very, very informative speech. Your Excellencies, very distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we'll move on swiftly, but please permit me for a few more recognitions before we move on. We're very glad to have here a very formidable team from the presidency. We have the Special Assistant Information and Strategy to Mr. President, Mr. Bayo Ononuga is here with us. Please rise for recognition, sir. Please rise for recognition. Please give him a round of applause. Thank you very much for being here. Also from the presidency, we have the Commander of the Niger, Mr. Sunday Dari, who is Special Advisor, Media and Public Communication and spokesperson to the President. Thank you very much for being here.
Also, I'd like to take this opportunity to formally welcome to today's event, even though they have been the organizers, the engine room, making sure that everything comes nicely together for us to have a very good outing. Please join me to appreciate The Chairman, Second National Spokesperson, Summit Planning Committee, Dr. Sule Yao Sule.